Hey everyone, and welcome back. I was thinking about doing Rev, because have I disturbed you? Really? I'm sorry. It is about 4 o'clock in the morning here. We've been up for about 2 hours, and so about an hour ago, I decided I would try and get some work done on Rev, and I apologize. This is putting a terrible glare. Does that make it better? No, not really. Great. Whoa. Well, we're just gonna deal with the crappy lighting then. But I thought I would try and get some work done on Rev since I was up and couldn't get back to sleep. Hence the title, Rev Review featuring the cat. But as you can see, a certain cat of mine, this thing right here, this little pain in the butt, was not being very helpful. This is about where she sat the whole time I was trying to work, so made it kind of difficult because she's sitting like half on my keyboard and half on my lap. So I thought, to heck with it, I would go ahead and sure. Now that I gave up on Rev, now she hops off my lap. I don't know why. I think I disturb her by my talking. I think I've mentioned this in another video because, she'll sit there forever and not move until I start talking on the camera. Sure. Now that I gave up on Rev, now she hops off my lap. I don't know why. I think I disturb her by my talking. I think I've mentioned this in another video because, she'll sit there forever and not move until I start talking on the camera and whatnot. But anyway, so since she was making it so difficult to do any kind of work on Rev, I thought I'd get on here and do my review because it's something I've been wanting to do. So Rev.com is basically a transcription website for audio files. So basically, people will have an audio file of various things, from anything from an interview to a class discussion to whatever, on various topics, and they will send whoever is, they send in their audio files, and basically Rev hires transcriptionists excuse me, and the I can't talk right now. The transcriptionists basically choose the project and transcribe the audio file into a text document format and whatnot, and they pay their transcriptionists for it. That was a really long, drawn-out way of explaining it. But yeah, basically, you get paid for typing up audio files. And I mean, you do have to... I might have to move because this lighting is... I don't know if it's bothering anybody else, but it's bothering me. Is my lighting annoying to you? Because it's annoying to me. God, that is just the most obnoxious light there could be. I swear it's not that bright in real life. Really? Well, come on then. Come on. Well, don't just bitch at me. Either get up here or not. This cat is ridiculous, I'm telling you. She's not even letting me give any love to my dog. Ugh. But anyways, so I started with Rev about, I want to say, a month ago, and I've been really, really happy with it so far. Here we go again. And whatnot. So basically, I am my own boss. and I choose the projects that only I want to do. I don't have to do any of the audio files that I don't want to do, which are the audio files they refer to as projects. Okay, I was wondering if it looked that bright because on my screen it looks like this really awful bright LED light, like fluorescent LED. Is that even a thing? Fluorescent LED? I don't know. It's foreign. No. Let's not be typing on mommy's computer. But yeah, so I started with Rev about a month ago. And at first I was really like skeptical about it of like, no way, this is way too easy. Like, yeah, I might type the files, but they're not actually going to pay me for it. And turns out they do. I actually do get a paycheck for it. I really like that I do whatever the projects I want, however many I want, whenever I want, for whatever length I want. And I can kind of create my own. She is cute, but she's being a pest. She's cute. I do love her, but 4:00 in the morning is a little bit early to be being needy. But yeah, so I do like the fact that I make my own schedule. If I don't feel like typing that day, I don't have to. If I have nothing better to do, I can sit there and do it for hours. And man, I wish I was tech savvy enough to know how to record this while sharing my screen with people, but I'm not that tech savvy. I'm not that smart, let's be honest. So anyways, I've done Rev for about a month, and I couldn't even tell you how much I've made off of it off the top of my head. I know the first 3 days I made $5, which was all my training videos, because they do, I want to say about 6 or 7 short videos that train you on how to use their editor and whatnot. And you get paid for those. And you get paid by audio minute, so not necessarily how long it takes you to transcribe. You get paid per audio minute of the audio file. So say you have a file that pays 33 cents a minute that is 10 minutes long. You just made like, I'm going to do, yeah, basically for like a, all right, I'll just use the one I was trying to work on for an example because I cannot do the math right now. I'm so fried. I can't think. But right now I have an audio file that is an hour and 8 minutes long. And it pays 40 cents a minute. So at the end of the day, I'll have about $32 for that one audio file. And it's not due for another 22 hours, which it's not going to take me a whole day to get that done. It'll probably take me a couple hours. Which is like, I know that seems weird at first when you hear me say an audio file that's an hour will take me like a couple hours, but that's because you also have to listen to the whole hour's worth of audio content and then and type that out. But on top of that, you also have to edit it, and occasionally you'll have to do a little bit of research, like no more than usually a quick Google search, like the first page. If there's like an abbreviation you're not familiar with, or a company or a brand you're not familiar with, you might have to Google it real quick to learn how to spell it or whatever. Or, but they don't expect you to go anywhere beyond what they call first result research, which means they're not expecting you to do so much research that you're spending 20 minutes doing research. They're basically only expecting you that you do enough research that you type, say, if it's a FCC, right? They only expect you to type an FCC into Google, and whatever pulls up on the first result page, that's about as far as they expect you to do your research. So you don't have to be an expert in the subject. But so, between typing and pausing the audio to catch up to the speaker and whatnot, it takes about 2 hours, sometimes three if I get interrupted or whatnot, for me to do an hour-long audio file. But yeah, it really is a great job, especially for someone in my position where I'm trying to get back into the workforce. Well, I'm trying to get in the workforce in general, not necessarily get back. I just spit on the cap. But yeah, so I think really is a great job. Yeah, it's pretty awesome in my opinion. I've been really happy with them. So, especially for someone who is disabled in any kind of way, it's been really nice for me personally. So you get paid weekly through PayPal. So every Monday they will pay you via PayPal, and then you can take the money from PayPal and put it in you can either leave it in PayPal and use it for online shopping, or you can hook up your debit card or bank account to PayPal, and then you can transfer it, which is pretty cool. So you can leave it in PayPal, not leave it in PayPal, and you get paid every Monday, which I think is pretty awesome. So that means right now I'm getting paid twice a week, technically, because I get paid on Thursdays from Safeway. I get my Safeway check on Thursdays, and then I get my Rev paycheck on Mondays, which works out really nice. But the one thing I like about Rev is the flexibility of it all. I don't have to get dressed to do Rev. If I'm having a sensory issue day where I just need to be in soft clothes, I don't have to get in a uniform or anything like that. Or if I'm having a bad pain day and I can't sit for an hour straight, I can easily sit there, stand up when my back goes to hurting, and then sit down when my back goes to hurting, or I can transfer to my ball. I don't have to conform to any particular rules. I could do this in my rocking chair if I wanted to. And like an idiot, I left my coffee in the kitchen and my throat's getting dry. That's smart. And now that I realize that my cat has happily settled onto my lap. But anyway, so I do really like the flexibility, and it's been really helpful for me as I try and get into the workforce on the days that I have to take. With Safeway, it's hard. I have to take days off every once in a while. Even though I hate it, I have to. And being able to sit there and go, okay, I need the day off from Safeway, but I can go over here and do some work on a Rev. That makes me feel a little less guilty. But for someone who's disabled, I think it's a great option. You get paid for your training. It's not an unreasonably difficult job. How much you make is really up to you. There is no cutoff point. They're not going to sit there and say, oh, after you've made 400, you can't make any more for the month. Yeah, exactly. You make your own hours. Some days I put 2 hours into Rev, and other days I put 4 hours into Rev. And like this week, I haven't done Rev at all because I'm terrible. Not really. It's not really because I'm terrible. It's actually a whole nother video. I wound up wrecking my car on Sunday night. So I've been preoccupied with other things since then, and I haven't had time to do it. But you do, and that's one of the things I love about it is I make my own hours and I make my own schedule. So if one day, say Monday, I did not have the energy nor the time. I think I did about 20 minutes on Rev, and then I was just done with it. And then other days I can sit here and put in a good 4 or 5 hours on Rev, and some days I don't do it at all. So it's pretty cool that way. And I can work it around everything else. And the nice thing is, if you're more outgoing than I'm not that outgoing, but if you are an outgoing person and like to be out and about in the community, you are not stuck to doing this at your house. I have found a lot of work from home jobs are really something you have to work at home for. You can't be answering for a call center on the bus or whatever, or at a coffee shop or something, because you kind of need the privacy of your own home. But this is something that it doesn't matter where you are, like, as long as you have Wi-Fi, and you could do this at a coffee shop, you could do this while waiting for an appointment. And from what I've noticed is, as long as you really only need Wi-Fi while your computer is loading the audio file. And once that audio file has completely loaded, you can actually get away with not having Wi-Fi for a little bit. So basically, you really only need Wi-Fi for the beginning of it and the end of it when you go to submit it. The rest of the time, you can kind of get away without Wi-Fi, but it does work better if you have Wi-Fi than if you don't, because then if you don't have Wi-Fi, you obviously can't do research and stuff and look things up. But I've been really happy with it. I'm going to click over, maybe, if it'll let me. I'm going to watch my light and see if I click over to here, if it quits recording. Don't think it says I'm still live, so I don't know. What I'm doing is I'm trying to open a new tab. I don't know if that worked. Oh, hey, look, it did. Okay, cool. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to open a new tab so I can pull up my earnings tab on Rev, so I can kind of give you guys an idea of what my paychecks have looked like, because I had the immediate. Oh, my computer's not happy about this. I'm giving it too many things to do all at once. But yeah, so I'm trying to get to my earnings tab on Rev so that I can kind of give you guys an idea about what your paychecks might look like or might not. Yeah, so last week I did not do hardly any Rev. I was just having a hard week, so I only made $8.28 because I only did about says 15 minutes worth of transcribed audio. So obviously I didn't make very much because I only did one audio file because I was being lazy as fuck. But the week before that I made 87 for 175 minutes. And week before that, which would have been my second week, I made 77.80, and then including my first 3 days, I made $5.30. So in 1, 2, 3, we won't count that. 1, 2, 3. So in 3 weeks, I have made a total of $179 on Rev. So in no means do I think this is going to be a main source of income or a primary job. But if you are on disability or SSI, yeah, but yeah, oh my gosh, it's 4:00 in the morning here, so I'm a little spacey. But I do think it's a good option. You're not going to probably get rich from this unless you made this like a full-time 9 to 5 job and that's all you did. Personally, I have thought about making Rev a 9 to 5 job outside of Safeway, and that doesn't seem like something I want to do personally for me. A, because that really increases the risk of carpal tunnel if I'm typing from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And B, I think it would kind of make it a tedious chore rather than something I'm enjoying doing. So right now I'm just going to keep to whenever I feel like doing it. But yeah, in 3 weeks, I've made about $179, and 5 of that was my training. So, and that's not really putting much effort into it. That's with me doing about 2 to 3 projects a week, maybe. And it's really simple. If you just go to rev.com, there's a little tab that says like apply or something. I forget. It took me a minute to find it, but you basically just apply through their website and it takes you to an application and you fill out the basic, name, birthday, blah, 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 just so they know you're 18. They don't ask for a social security number or an address or anything like that to my memory. I think they ask for your birthday to make sure you're old enough to work. Oh, you poor thing, you haven't slept yet. I at least got about 3 hours of sleep before I woke up. But yeah, so it's a pretty simple application process. They have you do a really pitiful, like, English grammar test, but it's like something any third grader could pass. It's basically really, really basic English and grammar, that you learn in like 2nd or 3rd grade. So don't stress about the English test because it's really, really, really basic. So, yeah, that's kind of my review. I guess that kind of covers everything. I've been really happy with it. It's not any kind of scam. It's a legitimate job. And they do pay quite well, in my opinion, for a side gig and whatnot. I wasn't paid by them or anything. Like, I'm not sponsored by them. I was not recruited to do this review or anything. I just found them by accident on a job posting site, and when I figured out how well Rev worked for me, I kind of saw the opportunity for it to work well for other people who are disabled that might be on disability and can't get a typical job and might need extra income, because I know money's really tight for everybody, but especially for those that are limited to strictly SSI or disability. So I wanted to put my thoughts and opinions out there. So those of you who might be on disability or on Social Security or just want to make some extra cash for Christmas or birthday crap, that I had that option out there. It's definitely going to help towards the car. I actually won't be getting the car fixed. I wound up totaling the car because my insurance considers a car totaled if the total damage is 75% of what the car's worth or more, and mine was just over 100% of my car's value. They valued my car at roughly $7,000, give or take a couple hundred, and I did about $9,500 worth of damage. So, yeah, I just found out yesterday that they totaled the vehicle. So, but the crappy thing was I won't be getting the vehicle replaced because there's apparently this thing called gap insurance, which anyone who ever leases a car, please go get gap insurance. I'm telling you now. Had I known about it at the time I purchased my car, I definitely would have gotten it, but no one told me about it. So I'm telling you about it now. Gap insurance is basically when you lease a car from a car dealership, they add a little bit of an extra fee onto your monthly payments. But that's so that if you ever total your vehicle before you've paid the car completely off, they will cover the rest of your loan for you. Yeah, it's like I said, it's been a shit week. Hence me not doing Rev until this morning. Yeah, so I did not know about that. So my insurance will be paying out $6,000 and a couple hundred, but about 6,000 to the bank that my car loan is through. And then I am the lucky one that gets to pay off the 2,500 that's left on my car loan. So kind of shitty, but Rev will help with that. That really is kind of another video all in of itself. Yeah. But Rev will help with that. I don't quite know what I'm going to do yet, other than I am taking the bus and walking to work for right now. I'm hoping in the next little bit to make a couple extra car payments on the car I don't have. But, a couple extra payments on my car loan, and then maybe look into leasing another car. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. But yes, Rev will definitely help me get into another vehicle. I just want to throw out there that I wasn't like texting while driving or driving drunk or stoned or any of the obvious no-brainers. I actually was extremely sleep deprived, and I got behind the wheel of my car when I was pretty damn tired to head to work, thinking that it'd be fine because I was only supposed to go 2 miles up the road to Safeway. Yeah, it does fucking suck, but well, we're into it, so I'll just go into it. Basically, I have 3 jobs that I've primarily been juggling. I've been juggling doing Safeway, and I've been juggling Rev when I'm not doing Safeway, and I've also been doing a part-time nanny gig. And basically, Sunday night I was scheduled to work 7 to 11 at Safeway in the evening, and it was an odd shift for me. They normally don't schedule me to start work that late. I usually start no later than 3 o'clock, and I'm not usually off that late either. So it was a really weird shift for them to throw me in. And basically, I was extremely sleep deprived. I have been for about 2 weeks now. I've been running myself into the ground trying to do all 3 jobs, as well as I'm trying to get into school for winter term. So I've been juggling that. And basically, I was sleep deprived and took a nap for about an hour, and apparently, according to my fiance, when he woke me up to about 2 hours before I needed to leave, I was extremely disoriented. I apparently woke up thinking it was Thanksgiving, which it wasn't anywhere close. And it took about an hour for me to really kind of wake up and stuff and come to, I guess. And then when I went to go to work, I just was still really tired because I hadn't slept hardly at all in the last 2 weeks. Basically, I got in my car, and even though I knew I was tired, I didn't think it was a big deal because I was only supposed to go 2 miles straight up a road, straight shot, but I decided to stop and put gas in my car because it was cheap, and the gas station close to my house, they're really hit or miss. Like, it was $2.96, but the next morning it could go back up to $3.12. So I figured I should stop and get gas while it was still cheap. And by the time I was done putting gas in my car, I had forgotten which job I was going to. Only explanation I have is that I was just too damn tired and my brain couldn't think straight. I just forgot where it was I was supposed to be going, and because of the odd hour that I was starting, I got it in my head that I was going to my part-time nanny gig in Laco. I got on the freeway and I started looking for my exit signs to go to my nanny gig, and about halfway to my nanny gig, I realized I was headed to the wrong job and that I actually needed to be going to Safeway, not to Laco. So I basically turned around, got on I-5 South, headed back to Safeway, and the only thing we can figure is I fell asleep at the wheel, because about 2 exits, I was coming up on the 2 exits that lead to Wilsonville. I needed to take the second one, so I was about 1 exit away from getting to my job, and I was checking my left side mirror to check my blind spot, and the next thing I know, I was going off the road. So I don't remember leaving my lane at all or anything like that. So the best we can figure is I dozed off for a few minutes and I fell asleep at the wheel, and I woke up to my car going up an embankment. And long story short, the car wound up 35 feet up the embankment on the side of the freeway. And I was apparently knocking out 30-foot long trees, and my car was just snapping them off at the base. Yeah, so it did a lot of fucking damage to my car. Miraculously, the driver's side was completely just about untouched. It had a few dents, and I mean small dents on the driver's side, and the mirror was pushed in and knocked out, my side mirror. But it was mainly the passenger side that took all of the damage, and it was also my undercarriage. After I got the car to the auto body shop, they looked at my vehicle and said that about 75% of my undercarriage needed to be completely replaced, that it couldn't be saved. So, but I wasn't all that shocked when I found out I was literally snapping off 30-foot long trees and driving over them. I was just snapping them off at the base. And the only reason my car came to a stop was I hit a bigger tree. The first responders that arrived on site had said that had that tree not stopped, had that bigger tree not stopped, had that bigger tree not been there, I probably would have kept going. That was probably the only reason that my car did come to a stop. I don't know how well this will work, but I'm gonna give it a try. Maybe. Let's see. Nope. I wonder what happens if I do this. Oh, that's even worse. Nope. That's even worse. Bright light in your face. I thought I had a good idea. Yeah, but I don't know if you can see that or not because I'm trying to show you shit on my phone. But this is the front of my car. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's where the headlight used to be. It's completely gone and smashed in. Like, the funny thing is this is the side of my car, like, post-accident. That is both the driver's side. That's the driver's side right there. It's got a dent right about here, but that's about it. That's the back. Pretty much the only thing that was messed up in my car was the passenger side on the front, and my undercarriage was torn to hell. Yeah, so all things considered, it sucks and it's scary as hell, and I'm not gonna lie, my brain hasn't even really processed the whole thing. I still I'm not sleeping very good. Yeah, my bright idea didn't work. My phone was too bright, but um I'll put some up on Instagram. I've been meaning to the last couple days, but if you follow me on Instagram, um I'll post some pictures up on Instagram. I've been meaning to the last couple days. Um but like I've been so wrapped up with the am I okay and like what do I do about the car and the insurance and all of that that it hasn't even sunk into my brain everything that happened. But a lot of people have been apologizing, but it's not that I don't think it sucks. I think it sucks majorly, and I think it's a big hole I didn't want to be in. But I saw where my car wound up, and I saw the damage done to my vehicle, and I saw the tree my car hit. Because one of my neighbors took me back to the crash site the next day, which probably wasn't the wisest thing, but whatever. And I saw where my car wound up. I saw the tire marks from me trying to hit my brakes, which it just, it, I don't know. And I saw the tree that stopped my vehicle, and I saw the damage done to my car, and all that keeps playing in my head is I should not have walked away from that. um, yeah, if you guys could see the crash site and the amount of car particles spread all over the embankment and the tree that I hit, I actually have a piece of my car stuck in the tree. I think it was like part of my bumper. I'm not sure. I don't even know what part of my car, but there is a piece of metal and plastic from my car that is stuck in that tree. I'm not an idiot. I've taken med classes. I've seen bad crashes, and logically, there's no way I should have walked away from that. And I did. And I walked away from it relatively unharmed. I did have to have thankfully, a physician / doctor who happened to see me crash did pull over. He just happened to be on the freeway at the same time I went off the road. He did have to help me out of my vehicle because the seat of my car had slid forward. So I was kind of jammed up against my steering wheel and whatnot, and he had to kind of push my seat of my car back. But other than needing help to get out of the vehicle, I was pretty much unscathed. I do have a few bruises, and I don't know if you can. It's not going to show. I don't have enough lighting to show you, but I do have a slight bruise. It's mostly faded now. But I do have a slight bruise right here where um I literally was thrown forward so far that my seatbelt left a mark, which had this been in the summer and I'd just been wearing a tank top, that would have been one thing. But I was actually wearing a tank top, a long sleeve, my work shirt, and 2 coats. So I was pretty well padded and it still left a mark. I have a few bruises here and there. I don't have any scrapes, scratches, or cuts. Probably my worst injury is I came out with a concussion and a compressed disc in basically at some point I landed on my spine to the point where it compressed a disc in my back. But I'm like, it could have been so much worse, and it should have been so much worse. I'm not blind. I know I should be in an ICU unit right now, and I'm not. My only explanation is that somebody up above was looking out for me. And that's just my personal belief, because I shouldn't have walked away from that crash. But I did. So I am trying to have a slightly greater appreciation for my life and trying to, as much as it sucks and as hard as it's going to be to get back on my feet to, pay off the car and, like, I'm sorry, cars can be replaced. They can. It may not be able to be replaced tomorrow, but they can be replaced eventually. And I'm just trying to sit here and think maybe this was the world's way of telling me to slow my ass down a little bit. Not like physically, I wasn't speeding or anything. I was doing about 65 miles an hour, but like to just take a breath, to quit pushing myself so much with so much work and pick one or the other, work and school, or, that I just need to take a step back and slow the fuck down for a little bit. So that's what I'm kind of trying to do right now, is take this as the universe telling me I need to chill. And I've definitely learned the hard way that if you are tired, and you think you might be too tired to drive, please, for the love of God, don't get behind the wheel. Because I had that thought. When I left the house, the thought of should I even be driving did cross my mind. And I brushed it off because I was only going 2 miles down the road. And I just underestimated how tired I really was, and I underestimated how dangerous that could be. And so please, I learned the hard way, if you are tired to the point where the thought crosses your mind you shouldn't be driving, don't get behind the wheel. Have someone else drive. Yeah. But this is about 43 minutes and my throat is dry, so yeah, I've definitely slowed down quite a bit. I took 2 days off work. One, because I took the night off. But yeah, I took 2 days off from Safeway. One was the night that I crashed, and the next day afterwards. I have since gone back to work, and that's mainly out of a necessity rather than a choice. If I could, I probably would have taken the whole week off, but I'm not that lucky. And whatnot, but I definitely have slowed down quite a bit. actually not doing a lot of anything. Like, I had yesterday off, and I did a little bit of Rev and made a few phone calls to my insurance company and called my bank, and that was about it. I pretty much zoned out the rest of the time. Yep. So I'm taking it easy. But I think I'm going to sign off here because this is about 45 minutes and my throat is really, really dry. So I need to go get something to drink. And my dog is wanting to go outside to go potty. I am really happy I'm okay too. And I'm really glad that you both popped in to watch. And I'm so sorry that I'm getting off right as you just signed on. But my throat is ridiculously dry. And my dog has to go outside. Just bad timing. But definitely go ahead and pop on my Instagram or our YouTube, and we'll be doing updates if you want. I'm definitely doing more updates on Instagram than I am on YouTube because it's faster. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys all soon at some point.